You're gonna need a search party to find that gold shimmer because I have no idea where it is. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week we're taking a break from the indies because I've decided I need to catch up on some of my spring collections that I have accumulated over the course of a couple of weeks. I need to get the review for these puppies up and ready, that way they're somewhat relevant and they're somewhat usable, and I'm not talking about stuff like after the fact, Christmas time. Today's video is going to be about the Kandee Johnson Sinful Colors collaboration. So when I saw that this collaboration was happening, I was so excited and so pumped because this entire collection is full of springtime wonderment and just happiness in bottles, and I'm so excited. So I do recognize that this is probably a very late review because this collection has been out for a long time, but I can still find this collection in my area, so I thought, well, let's just go ahead and talk about these polishes just in case they are still available in your area as well. I'm sure you all are aware about this collection because it's just fantastic, but it is enormous. Not only is it a Sinful Colors set, but there's also a Sinful Shine set as well, so I am definitely dividing this collection into two videos. This video is going to be talking only about the Sinful Colors in the Kandee Johnson collaboration, and then a two-parter video will be coming out where I'll be talking about the Sinful Shine polishes in the Kandee Johnson collection. So let's get talking about these polishes because they're so beautiful. They are so incredibly gorgeous. Let's start with my personal favorite from this collection, which is what I am wearing on my hands right now, and that would be Strawberry Milk. I love this polish. This is so good. This is such a beautiful, like, cotton candy, strawberry milk pink, and it dries to a matte finish, which is already like A+, 2 thumbs way up in my book because I love myself a matte finish. When you look at it in the bottle, you can see a little bit of a gold shimmer running through there, but honestly, I'm just gonna pretend it's not even there because when you put it on your nails, it's pretty much non-existent. Like, you're gonna need a search party to find that gold shimmer because I have no idea where it is. But the formula is so good. Oh, it's so good. If you like to work in thick coats, you can get this opaque in one coat. I was successful on some of my nails in getting it completely opaque in one, but I think to play it on the safe side, it's better to work in thinner coats and just get it done in 2. It is very buttery and very smooth and so very nice to work with. It's not chalky, it's not gritty, it's not sheer. It is absolutely fantastic. This is an awesome matte formula polish in a beautiful pastel pink. Love it so much. I think this one's a must-have, definitely a must-have. The next one that I have is very similar to Strawberry Milk. This one is called Pink Sugar, and if you look at them, like, they're almost identical. The only difference being is that this is a textured polish. It's kind of this sugary textured yumminess, which I absolutely adore. I was successful in some cases getting this completely opaque in one coat, but I more strongly recommend doing 2 thin coats just because you want everything to look even and you want everything to have like equal color and equal like texture distribution. So definitely a solid 2-coater on this one. I really liked the texture on it. I thought it was super fun, different, and I liked that it was pink, so I like this one a lot too. This one's really good. The next one from the collection I have is Candy Hearts. This one is another matte formula, and just like Strawberry Milk, it is heaven. Absolutely heaven. I was in some cases able to get this completely opaque in one coat, but keep in mind it's like a very thick coat that I'm working with. Like, it's very thick. But just like with Strawberry Milk, I recommend doing 2 coats on this one, keeping it thinner and just doing 2. That way you don't have to deal with like possibly flooding your cuticles and getting a little trigger happy with the thickness. Like, just be safe. Really like this one, and I love the way it looks when it dries. Like, it's just so matte and porcelain-like. Oh, I love it, absolutely love it. The next one I have from the Kandee Johnson collection is called Mint Chip. It's a beautiful mint green polish. Definitely one of those springtime colors that I am just jonesing for right now, and this is a perfect mint green. Again, so incredibly surprised with Sinful Colors and truly impressed with the fact that they have got this beautiful mint green polish in this amazing matte formula. I was able to get this opaque in one coat, but it might be more of a universally understood fact to keep it opaque in 2. Work in thin coats. You might be able to get it opaque in 1, but let's just stick to the safe side and say that it's opaque in 2. Gorgeous polish. Absolutely love it. Absolutely flawless. It's super smooth and soft. Love it! The next one that I have is Mint Sugar, and just like with Strawberry Milk and Pink Sugar, it is basically the same thing as Mint Chip. It's almost the exact same color. It's a tad bit more blue, but it is a textured polish instead of a matte formula. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love textured polishes, and I think that these like pastel textured polishes from Sinful Colors are absolutely gorgeous and so much fun. Like, this is exactly what I need right now. It's perfect springtime. Love the candy finish on them, and thrown in with some of these textured polishes is exactly what I needed. It's absolutely perfect. The formula on this one is just as good as the other formulas in this collection so far. I was able to get, it varied from like opaque in 1 coat to opaque in 2 coats. It just really honestly depends on your application, but you definitely don't need any more than 2 coats when using this polish. It's just incredibly perfect and beautiful, and it makes me so excited for springtime. I'm so excited about this collection. It's so good. Next polish that I have is Pin Up Pink. This is a really gorgeous, like in-your-face magenta pink. It's on the darker side, but it's still vibrant and spring-like. This one, definitely out of all of them, has the strongest gold shimmer in it when you look at it in the bottle. But still, when you put it on your nail and it dries and it's ready to go, I don't see that shimmer one bit. I'm sure it comes out a little bit if you were to put a top coat on there, but I don't see it. I don't see it at all, so I'm like, then why put it in there? You're just playing with my emotions right now. This one is definitely a solid 1 coater for me. Every single time I applied this polish and every single time I wore it, it was opaque in 1. No questions, no problems, hands down opaque in 1. Such a beautiful pink, perfect for spring and right up my alley for this time of the year right now. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The next polish that I have to share is like the cousin or the sister to Pin Up Pink, and that would be Pink Velvet. It's again almost the exact same color. Like if you were to hold them up next to each other, they look exactly the same. The only difference being this is a matte formula and this is a textured polish. Just like with the other ones, there is a really strong gold shimmer in here, but again, I really don't see it when it's on the nail. I get more distracted by the texture of my nails and less like, ooh, do I see that gold shimmer at all? I was perfectly happy on various occasions getting this one completely opaque in 1 application, but again, I feel like a lot of that has to deal with your application style. If you work in thicker coats or if you tend to go on the thinner side and keep it a little bit more reserved, then you'll definitely need 2. But once again, just like with the rest of these polishes, you won't need more than 2 coats with this one. The next one that I have is probably the polish I was most disappointed with this entire collection, and that's mainly because the formula was just a little bit lacking and I wasn't blown away. This one is called Whipped Frosting. It is a matte formula polish, and I just was not impressed by it. I don't know if it's because it's a white polish or because the formula wasn't as fantastic as the rest of the polishes in this collection. I was just kind of left like, okay, like I guess you can stay. It was definitely a solid 2 coat polish. Like there were some of these that you could get away with 1 coat and I was totally happy with 1 coat, but this one was definitely like a nope, we need 2. But honestly, like that's not bad considering it is a very affordable polish. It's a matte formula and it's a white polish too. I didn't find it like chalky or like really sheer. It was smooth as butter, and it really dried to a beautiful, like flawless kind of matte finish that I really appreciated. I was just really impressed with the rest of the formulas from this collection that when it came time to this one, I had really high expectations and it didn't quite meet those expectations, but it's still a really good white cream formula that dries to a beautiful matte finish, so don't disregard this one. It just is really hard to be super impressed with this one when the rest of these polishes are absolutely fantastic. The next polish that I have from the Kandee Johnson collection is called Cherry on Top, and you guys, this is a must-have. This is such a beautiful polish. It is a very vibrant orangey tomato red that is so incredibly gorgeous. There is a little like hint of a gold shimmer running through it, and it does stand out a little bit more in this polish than the rest of the gold shimmers in this collection, and I think that's mainly because it's a red polish, and so the red with that gold pops a little bit better than in some of the rest of these polishes. Formula on this one, it was weird. It was almost kind of like it was a jelly polish, but it was a jelly with like a matte formula. It was very, very weird. So it was really, really sheer in one coat. Like I could still see my nail line. It felt like a cream polish, but when it dried, it was like kind of see-through but matte. So it was weird. It's very, very weird. It's a very odd like formula. Is it a jelly with a matte formula? I didn't realize those could exist. Apparently they do, because I had to go anywhere from 2 to 3 coats to get this one completely opaque and to cover up that nail line entirely. In most cases I was fine with 2 coats, but I could definitely see people arguing that you need 3 for this one because you could maybe still see a faint hint of the nail line. I would just be very cautious with 3 coats because with it being a matte formula, you might get into the problems of like overworking it or possibly layering too much and getting some bubbling effect. So definitely play around with this one. Figure out your application style with this one. Gorgeous. I really, really like this one, and I think this one is definitely a must-have because the color is fantastic, especially those with fairer skin. And I love the matte formula on it. I love the way it looks when it's dry. Oh. And the last polish that I have to talk about from the Kandee Johnson collection is Licorice. And this one I was not too keen on buying because it's this really dark blackish brown polish with a goldish green shimmer running through it that I just kind of looked at and I'm like, I don't think I want this one at all. But I'm really glad I picked it up because it is really, really pretty. It is such a beautiful polish. Just like with the rest of the polishes in this collection, I was able to get it opaque in 1 coat, but other nails needed like 2 thin coats. So it just depends on your application, but it is definitely like good in 2. You won't need any more than 2 coats. I don't necessarily think I'd be wearing this a whole lot right now. I might be doing some nail art with it and doing some fun like chevrons or something. Very surprised by this one. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but this one was definitely a wild card and I love it. So those were all the polishes. There was like a peach that I was not interested in because it was very nudish and it looked very similar to a Kylie Jenner color, so I'm like, no, I don't need to get that. And I think that was it. I think that was all the ones from the Sinful Color set. All in all, I think this is a fantastic, fantastic collection. I would highly recommend getting anything from this collection because the formulas are across the board very impressive given the price point of this brand. Sinful Colors runs around $2 maybe. You can probably find it cheaper when it goes on sale. And for $2, you are getting a really nice matte formula polish. I've always been superly impressed with Sinful Colors matte formulas. Some of my favorite matte polishes come from Sinful Colors, so I think if you see anything with a matte formula from Sinful Colors, grab it, especially these ones because they are so fantastic. And that is it. The second part to this video would be the Sinful Shine collection that Kandee Johnson did, and I will be doing that in a separate video at a later date. But that is my video for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!